नमस्तस्यै नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः। वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे पीर पराई जाने रे। वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे पीर पराई जाने रे। पर दुखे उपकार करे तो ये मन अभिमान नारे रे। वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे पीर पराई जान रे। सकल लोक मान सहुने वंदे निंदा ना करे के रे। सकल लोक मान सहुने वंदे निंदा ना करे के रे। वाच काछ मन निश्चल राखे धन धन जननी तेरी रे। वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे पीर पराई जान रे। समदृष्टि ने तृष्णा त्यागी पर स्त्री जने मात रे। समदृष्टि ने तृष्णा त्यागी पर स्त्री जने मात रे। जीव हाथ की असत्य न बोले पर धन नाम झाले हाथ रे। वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे पीर पराई जान रे। मोह माया व्यापे नहीं जेने दृढ़ वैराग जेना मन मारे। मोह माया व्यापे नहीं जेने दृढ़ वैराग जिना मन मारे। राम नाम सो राम नाम सो ताली लागे सकल तीरथ तेना तन मारे। वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे पीर पराई जान रे। वैष्णव जन तो वण लोभी ने कपट रहे काम क्रोध निवारी अरे बड़ लोभी ने कपट रहित छे काम क्रोध निवारी अरे भणे नर सैयो तेनु दर्शन करता कुल एको तारी अरे भणे नर सैयो तेनु दर्शन करता कुल एको तारी अरे वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे पीर पराए प्राण में पर दुखे उपकार करे लोए मन अभिमान लान वैष्णव जन वैष्णव जन वैष्णव जन तो तेने जे पीर पराए जान वैष्णव जन तो थैंक यू
चंद्र जी, थैंक यू। तो रघुपति राघव राजा राम कोई ओके
ऑलराइट। सो गांधी जी का दूसरा मोस्ट फेवरेट भजन रघुपति राघव राजा। Gandhiji's message was, in one word, simple living and high thinking. He was the most powerful man at that time. Gandhi मूवी में वो बोल रहे थे कि the man who has no army, who had no money, who had not enough clothes, and he was emaciated and thin, but he was the most powerful man of the time. सीताराम सीताराम भज प्यारे तू सीताराम 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 भज प्यारे तू सीताराम रघुपति राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम ईश्वर अल्लाह तेरो नाम सबको सम्मति दे भगवान ईश्वर अल्लाह तेरो नाम सबको सन्मति जानकी वल्लभ सीताराम जय रघुनंदन सिया राम जानकी वल्लभ सीताराम जय रघुनंदन सिया राम रघुपति राघव जानता पतित पावन सुंदर विग्रह मेघा श्याम गंगा तुलसी शालिग्राम सुंदर विग्रह मेघा श्याम गंगा तुलसी शालिग्राम रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम भद्रगिरीश्वर सीताराम भगत जना प्रिय सीताराम भद्रगिरीश्वर सीताराम भगत जना प्रिय सीताराम जानकी रमणा सीताराम जय जय राघव सीताराम जानकी रमणा सीताराम जय जय राघव सीताराम दशरथ के दुलारे राम कौशल्या के प्यारे राम दशरथ के दुलारे राम कौशल्या के प्यारे राम रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम रघुकुल भूषण राजा राम करुणा सागर राजा राम रघुकुल भूषण राजा राम करुणा सागर राजा राम जल में राम स्थल में राम सारे जग में तू ही राम जल में राम स्थल में राम सारे जग में तू ही राम रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम।
Thank
Yeah,
you. Thank you very much. So today we have Dr. Jatin Kapadia, who will be joining us very shortly. I don't think he has arrived as yet. So as soon as he arrives, then he will be starting, taking where he left off last time with Bhaja Govindam. But in the meantime, if we have any announcements, then let's get them out of the way. Since we have a few minutes, अरुण जी आपको कुछ कहना है तो बोल दीजिए.
ये तो मेरे पास कुछ नहीं है
अच्छा. I just wanted, I'm going to, ask everybody's indulgence for a few minutes. All of you who are here, you arrive, you come every week and you participate, and it's really a pleasure to see all of you here. And I know that we are all excited at the prospect that our temple is going to open very soon. And your support really means a lot. It's not just about the financial support, although that's extremely important, but really just that you stay with us, and your belief and your faith and your continued faith in this project. I just want you to know that I have personally reviewed the financial statements that have been released by the temple just recently for the last 2 or 3 years. Some of them are already on the temple website. And I have the other statements in my possession, and I have discussed them with our accountant, and I feel satisfied with them. So if any of you have any questions about the accountants, I know that there is, and I'm talking very frankly here, so please indulge me, that there are a lot of misinformation and misconceptions out in the community. I ask you to please keep faith in us. If you have any questions, please call me anytime, and I will be more than happy to answer your questions. If I cannot answer the questions, then I will find the answer and I will call you back. And that is my solemn promise to you. And not just mine, but all my fellow volunteers. Abhilash Tiwari is here. Arun Bhagirat is here. I know Daksha is here somewhere. I saw her coming in, and she is the wife of Jotin Thakur, who is one of the trustees. Any one of us, please pick up the phone and call, and we will be more than happy to answer your questions. And I ask you that if you hear some rumors out in the community, we are all human beings, and we fall prey to some of our human frailties, and sometimes we hear things that are repeated out in the community. Please, I ask you to keep your faith and point them to us. Tell them to call us, share our phone numbers with them so that we can have the correct information out in the community. We want to see this project completed, but most of all, we want to make sure that our community stays together and come to pray at the temple in peace and in harmony and as one community all together. So that is just my indulgence, and I hope that I haven't offended anybody with my remarks. If I have, then I apologize in advance. Please call me and you can fight with me over the phone. But if not, then I did see Dr. Jatin Kapadia coming in, and I will hand over the mic to him. Jatin bhai, tame cho? So please unmute yourself. Yes, he is there.
You can continue for 5 more minutes if you want to.
Oh, okay. So does anybody have any questions right now about the temple project, about its progress, construction progress, or any of the finances or anything? This is an open book. We have nothing to hide. So please feel free to ask the questions if you want to. No? Okay. So if we have a few more minutes, would anybody like to swing? Abhilashji, would you like to say anything? Are you there?
I would like to say something.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. I
Please,
heard the
please introduce
bhajan.
yourself if you don't mind. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. I'm Anuradha Dujari,
Mm-hmm.
and I am from Delaware.
Mm-hmm.
And I started attending Dr. Kapadia's, program here. Of course, it's the temple also, and I've really enjoyed it. But I would like to say something, and which is the bhajan that we sing, Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram. I know it is Gandhiji's favorite song, but I think it will well behoove us to sing the original rachna by the Panditji who had, composed this song.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a really beautiful song, and that's the one we should really be, promoting and singing. I had mentioned that at Chinmay Mission in
Mm-hmm.
not Chinmay Mission, sorry, at the Durga Temple in Virginia, to the class that they have for children. And they did change it to that, and realizing that, yes, it is a different thing, but we need to stick to the original. And essentially, going forward, the children will know which one is the original one, and they need to sing that.
Absolutely. Do you know if that version is available on YouTube?
Yes,
Yes, I
yes,
think
yes,
it
it
is
is.
available. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was,
Ye-
If you tell me,
yeah,
then I can pull it up right now, and see if
okay.
maybe we can find it.
Yeah, I was trying to find it myself here because right now I don't have it, but I will go back and take a look at
Uh-huh.
it. And this is essentially original lyrics are there, and in the several people have written about it, but I'm trying to find that name of the person.
Yeah,
Do
I
you
found
know?
one that says Raghupati Raghav Rajaram original lyrics. So let me see if
Yeah,
let me share my
harmonian.
screen. Let me share my screen and see if this is the correct one. And if it's not, then again, my apologies.
Yeah, I'm looking. Yeah, uh, that's. I listened to it for a few seconds, but yeah. Um, we'll have to go through this couple of them to see, because their words are very definite, and maybe even on
Can you
Wikipedia
see
it
my
should be there,
screen?
the original one. Beg your pardon? I can hear
Can,
it, yes.
yeah.
And
sometimes called as Ram's Way.
I don't know if this has.
Sung
I'm
first time
sorry that I can't tell you right away,
Right.
but definitely by next time I will find out which one it is, and definitely let you know about it as to which one is the one that should be followed. I think there is a name attached to the person, and I'm really blanking out at this moment as to who it is.
I'm going to stop this if you don't mind, because
Sure.
it seems like this
Sure.
is only the
Yes.
music. So,
Right, right.
but
No,
I
this is
will
not the one,
definitely
but
find it, and your
lyrics.
point is well taken. Thank you
Yeah,
for saying that, and we'll
yeah,
definitely
yeah.
I'll find it, and maybe next
Mhm.
time we can hear that. So thank you.
Yeah,
So you're joining us
if
all the way
you
from
if you
Delaware.
put, yes, I am, and if you
Yeah.
give me your email, once I find it, I will
Uh-huh. So I'm going to put my email in the chat box.
email it to you. How about that?
Yeah, yeah,
If I have your email, I
yes,
could do that. I could
certainly.
email it to you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There you go. So my email is in the chat box. You can just
Thank you.
grab it from there. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Does anybody else have any questions or comments or anything? If not, then Jatin bhai, we have 1 more minute to go.
Sure, we can start.
Do you want to wait, or would you like to start?
I will take that minute.
Okay, please.
All right. Listen, we all sing this Raghupati Raghava Rajaram Patita Pavana Sitaram. It is incorrect. That Patita Pavan T is a short T. It is not a long T. So it should be Patita Pavana
exactly.
Sitaram.
Yes.
If you listen carefully, 9 out of
Patit.
10
Mhm.
people sing it incorrectly.
Yes.
So it is a T which is E short, not long. All right, we can start.
Okay.
Can we share?
I think let me make you. Should I make you the co-host,
Yeah, that's fine.
Dr. Kapadia? Okay.
Yes, that's fine.
I'm trying to find you. Oh, there you are. All right, there you go.
Opening thing. Yeah. So this is the opening prayer, and I think most of you also follow. Yeah, most of you also follow this opening prayer. If you look at the page, at the bottom of the page, there are 2 more sentences. This is one additional prayer, and we'll try to chant both of them together. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्. Now, if you have the book, you can open and we have done only 2 slokas, so we will chant all of them now. Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Govindam Bhaj Mudamate, Samprapte Sannihite Kale, Nahi Nahi Rakshati Dukrin Karane, Murjahi Danagam Trishna, Kuru Sat Buddhim Manasi Vitrushnam, Yalabhase Nija Karmo Patam, Vitam Te Navinodaya Chittam. So in first 2 shlokas, Acharya So in first 2 shlokas, Acharya Shankaracharya ji, he talked about one most important thing. One, we should be doing bhakti. All of us do bhakti. This temple is all about bhakti. But bhaj has 3 meanings. One is bhakti. Second is seeking, that means searching, that means looking for Atman, which is Jnana Yoga. First is Bhakti Yoga, second is Jnana Yoga, and the third is serving. Serving is Karma Yoga. All three of them are included in one word, bhaja. Now, in the second shloka, Acharya ji hit very hard, dhan, the wealth. And wealth by itself is not anything bad. We all should have wealth. It is the trishna. It is the immoral, unethical way of collecting additional wealth, which is a problem. Having wealth is not a problem. Wealth is very innocent. We all need wealth. We all collect the wealth when we are in grahastha ashram. That is between the age of 25 and 50, we stretch it to 60, and we should be collecting, because after 60, when we slow down work and retire after 65 or 70, then we are going to need that wealth. So it is good to have the wealth. We are lucky, we are fortunate, we live in America. So we will be always, and we are always taken care by the government. So we are better off than some people in India. But in any case, the Trishna is the problem. So he extends this thought in the third shloka. Let's go to the third shloka and we'll talk about it. Okay. Nari stanabharanabhidesham drishtva magamohavesham etanmasavasadi manasi vichintaya varam varam. Nari stanabharanabhidesham Drishtva magamohavesham etanmasavasadi vikaram manasi vichintaya varam varam. Fortunately, this book has such a simple Sanskrit. It is more like Hindi, and most of us understand very easily. Nari, woman, Stana Bhara. That means a developed person who is adult now, fully developed. Nabhi Desham. Nabhi is umbilicus. Desham, area. The area of umbilicus is open. So when it is open, we look at it. Drastva. Drastva is to look at it. Ma, ga, don't become. Moha avesham. Moha is delusion. Delusion is wrong idea, understanding upside down. When we look at the woman and when we see the middle part of the body which is open, then we get the wrong thoughts, wrong ideas. Etan mas vasadi vikaram. Etan, that is nothing but mas is meat or flesh. Vasa means fat. Adi is and so on. Vikaram is modification. Manasi, with our mind. Vichintaya varam varam. Please think about it again and again. So let us talk about it. These two topics are very, very, very famous. Not only that, favorite of Shankaracharya ji. Why? Because these two destroy us. One is wealth and second is lust. When it says nari, it really doesn't mean that we are talking about woman. We are talking about lust. So that applies to both men and women. Women are very respectable, and all our shastras put the women on pedestal. And that's what Lord Krishna did it in Bhagavad Gita also. They are the most important person in the family. There is no family without a woman. So a woman takes care of the family. She's the most important person in the family. And Shankaracharya, when he describes Nari, it doesn't mean that he wants to pull the leg of the Nari. He is only talking about lust. But this is his way of describing. And I will come to why he used the word Nari in a few more minutes. So we often even say, and when we were little, we used to say, beauty is skin deep only. We knew that from the very beginning. Imagine. Now let me describe how the body is. What are the layers in the body? Remember, this particular sloka, this particular book was written 1200 years ago. But there are scriptures which are written 5,000 years ago when there was no autopsy was being carried out. But our rishis knew the details of the body so amazingly in depth that this was described in the scriptures 5,000 years ago, which also Shankaracharya described 1,200 years ago. And look how the body is made up of. The body is made up of 7 layers. The topmost layer, which we see, and that is the only thing we see, which is skin. Okay. Underneath are tissues, and there is blood running all over the body, and fat. Underneath the skin, there is fat. Muscles, again, all over the body. Bone in the center of the arms and legs and the back. And marrow, that is a bone marrow. So these are the 7 things which the body is made up of. And every single body has the same 7 things. Now, imagine these 6 things other than the skin is the same in everybody. Little more, little less. But every one of us have the same blood. Every one of us have the same tissues. Every one of us have fat underneath the skin and also other parts of the body. Every one of us has muscles and bone marrow. Do we care? No. So what do we care? We care for the skin, or you can say we care for the packaging. Lord is so incredible. He packaged this body so we can see each one of us different. And each one of us has we have our own beauty. And you cannot say that one person is ugly and one person is beautiful. What is beautiful? Beautiful is in the eyes of the people. Some people like thin people, some people like heavy people. So everybody is beautiful in some way. Some people like light colored people, some people like dark colored people. So what's the difference? There is no difference. All we look at is the skin, and we are not looking at what we should be looking at, which is the mind of the person, the intellect of the person, the thoughts of the people. So he hits very hard that, listen, we go for the skin of the other people, but please think twice and don't be deluded that this is attractive and this is not. That's a wrong kind of line of thoughts. You can always look at this person is smarter, this person is intelligent, this person is honest, this person is disciplined, and look at the qualities of the people, not the skin of the people. And those who only went for the skin always regretted. So, Nari Stanabhara Nabhi Desham. Well, unfortunately, the world has changed. We live in Kali Yuga. So, what happens is our minds are so polluted because since the morning begins and we open our eyes, what do we see? The newspaper, the television, the cell phone, the WhatsApp, the online search. every single thing has nothing but lust. Even if somebody is selling the sandal, he will show the whole body and then a little bit of sandal. But the concentration is on the body, not on the sandal. There was one advertisement in London, and they were selling watches. So they put a real woman in the showcase with watch on, showing the watch because it was a watch shop, but nothing else on the body. So this is what the world has come to. The same thing, even if you watch the cartoons, it is ridiculous. Every single magazine, there is nothing but lust. Man's magazine, woman's magazine, doesn't make any difference. So that's all we watch all day, every day. You see Salman Khan in every single movie takes off the shirt. Why? Even the movies which were there in 50s and 60s, men and women singing the song in rain. Why does it have to be in the rain? But that's what they show. That's what we watch. That's where our mind goes. And that's where the money is, unfortunately. The shorter the clothes, the lesser the clothes, the more expensive they are. So this is the world we live in. But we have to watch out. Now imagine the same world is described 5,000 years ago, and the same world is described here by Shankaracharya ji 1200 years ago. So nothing has changed. Then also it was the same pollution, and right now it is the same thing. We have so many examples. Think of the politician. Every one of them is involved. Well, most of them. I can't say every one of them. Most of them have problems and rackets. All the Hollywood, what is it? All scandals are there. Bollywood, what is in Bollywood? All the scandals. And what are they? Nothing but lust, nothing but improper relationship. And now it started even in Silicon Valley. So Silicon Valley has lots of Indians working, but there are problems and lots of reports on that too. Every rich person, what do they have? Second person, third person, fourth person in life. So unfortunately, it was caught by Shankaracharya ji 1200 years ago. So what does Shankaracharya ji do in this book? In this book, what he does is that he's showing us the problems of life. And then in between, he shows us or tells us, well, these are the problems, but this is what we can do. And the solution, he keeps on showing the solutions at the same time. So what kind of world we live in? Let me give you a little example why we are facing what we are facing. We know the story of Kali. We live right now in Kali Yuga. There are 4 yugas, yes? The shortest yuga is Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga started 5,000 years ago. Every one of us know to a certain degree Mahabharata and Bhagavad Gita, and it has been described very good in Mahabharata. What is described? Remember at the war on Kurukshetra, the 2 sides, Kauravas and Pandavas, were fighting, and most of the people in the war died. 5 of them were the children of Pandavas, and each one of the Pandava had 1 child, and they grew up, and they were in the war. All 5 of them were killed. Abhimanyu was the 6th child, and that was the child of Arjuna, son of Arjuna. And he was killed also in the war. Now, if all of the Pandavas' children are dead, then after the Pandava, who is going to rule? So Abhimanyu had a wife, and she was pregnant, and her child was also supposed to die. She was killed also. But Lord Krishna went into the uterus of the child, the mother, and her name was Uttara, and she protected the baby, and the baby did not die and was born alive. That baby's name is Parikshit. So Parikshit Raj grew up because Pandavas were still alive and they ruled for another 35 years. So Parikshit was the only child, which is the grandchild of Arjuna. He was alive and he became the king. He was a very good king. But that is the time Kali Yuga started already. So when Parikshit was moving around one time, he saw Kali beating badly a bull, and that bull's 3 legs were broken, and Kali was trying to break the 4th leg of the bull, and the cow was crying. So Parikshit stopped there. He went to Kali and he said that there is no way in my kingdom a person like you can exist. So I'm going to kill you right now. You cannot live here. So Kali actually fell to the feet of Parikshit and he asked for forgiveness. But he said, listen, this is my nature. Now, so Parikshit said, okay, get out of my kingdom. I will not kill you, but I will not allow you in my kingdom. So Kali said, but the whole world is your kingdom. So where am I going to go? Give me some place to live. I'm born to live and you cannot destroy me. So give me some places to live. So Parikshit gave 4 places to live for Kali. What are those? Alcohol. You can see now on the slide. Alcohol, gambling, slaughterhouse, and brothels. Then Kali said, that's not enough. I want one more place. I want some more attractive place where I would love to be there. So give me one more place. And Parikshit gave him gold. That you can now live in these 5 places: alcohol, gambling, slaughterhouse, brothels, and gold. That's where Kali lives. What was the big problem? That Parikshit himself had gold in his mugd. So in his crown, there were jewels and gold, and Kali lives in the gold. That's a problem. Now Parikshit's mind is bad. Parikshit's mind is polluted. He was a wonderful king, but he started making mistakes. Off and on, when we are informally together, people argue. And people argue when they drink alcohol. That all of our ancestors were, the rulers were kings. They were the big shots. They were the gods. And they were drinking alcohol. Why can't I drink alcohol? Wrong idea, wrong argument. Because alcohol is the one in which Kali lives. Gambling. Everybody loves Atlantic City and everybody loves the lighting in Las Vegas. Bad idea. It only can ruin us. Eating meat. And those who eat meat, they always argue that the kings used to eat meat. Our ancestors used to eat meat. Everybody used to eat meat years ago. Why can't I eat meat? Look, it says very clearly, slaughterhouse is the place where Kali lives. It ruins our mind. Brothels. Or this is what he's talking about now, lust. This 3rd shloka is all about lust. That other women are not for us. There is only one woman for a man and there is only one man for a woman. Other people are for other people, not for us. Married people have no business touching any other person. But here it describes brothels. It's basically carrying the same meaning. And gold. Gold means wealth. And gold and wealth means even though we all need it to some extent, it is to be used. If you, I mean, you haven't gone through all the Upanishads, but in one of the Upanishads, Taittiriya Upanishad, in one of the Upanishads, it was Taittiriya Upanishad, there are slokas that if you chant, God will give you the wealth. It's so easy. You chant those slokas and God will give you the wealth with one condition, that wealth is not to be used for you, for personal use, for storage, for collection, to pass on to the next generation. Then God will not give you any wealth. So wealth is to be used, shared, distributed, and to be used for the benefit of the society. Now, it doesn't have to be you have to donate to your temple, but that's one of the things you can do. You're building a temple, so please go ahead, share it. But it doesn't have to be temple. There are many, many, many ways we can share the wealth with the world, but we must share wealth with the world. So, in second and third shloka, what did Shankaracharya talk about? Shankaracharya talked about this. I will describe it in, this is the meaning. Yeah, okay. Let me spend a couple of minutes. That what are the pursuits of human being? All of us, 100% of the people on this earth, they follow these three things. One is lokesana, second is vittesana, third is putresana. What is lokesana? Lokesana means I want to be popular. I want to be famous. I want people to praise me. So what happens when we get together? Somebody will say some joke, say something crazy, and everybody laughs. Oh, he's such a funny man. People remember that. Or somebody is well dressed all the time, and people remember that person looks very good. He's well dressed. Or some people spend money to be popular. Big parties and gatherings and going out and entertainment. Our whole life goes in pleasing other people. This is what we do. So much so we like our fame so much that 75-year-old man will go to the cemetery, buy a plot for himself, which is ocean face, that when I die, bury me there. What? You are dead. What do you mean bury me in ocean face cemetery at this location? And he buys the most expensive lot there for himself to be buried. And write on the stone, this is what I loved. People want to be popular even after death. And they do everything. They make big pictures, they make statues, they make portrait. They create something and put big names. This is what is built by Mr. So-and-so. See how bad lokesana is. Not only all throughout our life, we look for fame. Even after death, we want to be remembered. That is lokesana. Well, all politicians, all CEOs, all popular people, this is what they do throughout their life. The second word, vittesana. Vittesana means we run after wealth. Vitt is the money. We run after wealth all throughout our life. We want to keep earning even when we are 85 years old. We have some shares somewhere and we make money in that investments. We own real estate. We own certain things. We keep working. Why? But you don't need money. But it's okay. I have nothing else to do. No, no, it's not you have nothing else to do. You want to continue to make money. That is the idea. So we are attached to, or we run after wealth, that is vittesana. And this is such a, it is ingrained in our mind so badly that a day before we die, then also the grandpa will call daddy and say in his ear, listen, I gave 100,000 to our neighbor. So after I die, collect the money from him. And boom, he's dead. See how bad we are? That's all we think. A day before we die, we think of the money. And all throughout our life, we think about lokesana. That means I want to be popular and people remember me all throughout in the future. The third is putresana. So this word is not about putra. Putra means son. This is not about putra, but it is about lust. That is the third word, that we run after the lust, both men and women, all throughout our life, no matter what the age is. And in one gender, the hormones go down, and of course, they don't have that much intense desire after a certain age. But male gender, ridiculous all throughout, no matter what the age is, they run after lust. This is the way the body is. This is the way our mind is. This is the way the God has designed us. So, what is the solution? What do we do? Then Sankaracharya says, and it is also described in your book, which you have with you. There is a word which is used in the commentary. And what is the word? Pratipaksha bhavana. Bhavana is thinking, and which are pratipaksha. Our mind is such that it always goes out. It always goes looking for the object, looking for the people, looking for the beauty, looking for vacationing, looking for entertainment. Our mind is such, and this applies to both the gender, everybody, that our mind goes out all the time. See, my wife used to do autopsies. You'll be surprised. 85, 90, 95-year-old woman dies, and when she's doing autopsy, she will notice that she has a fantastic manicure, pedicure done. Arre Baba, you are dying, you're going to the hospital, these are your last days. But she first gets her manicure, pedicure done before she goes to the hospital. See where our mind goes? Our mind goes out at all times. I have to look good. I have to look good. I cannot go out unless I look good. And look good is everybody's different definition. So, Pratipaksha Bhavana is instead of mind going out, turn that mind going in. So now what? You want to know who you are. You want to know what is self. Self has another meaning. Self, capital S, self, means Atma. Atma is our essential nature. Atma is who we are. Atma is our consciousness. Instead of taking the mind outside, turn the mind inside and think of who I am. I am not this physical body. I am not my internal organs. I am not my mind. I am not my intellect. I am not my memory. I am not my ego. I am that who knows all of this about me. And that is consciousness. That is Atma. That is who I am. Anybody who knows that, he gets the moksha. Moksha is an infinite bliss, infinite happiness, a state in the mind where no sorrow exists, only the happiness exists. That state of mind is called moksha. That is what we attain. When do we attain that? When we understand who I am. What is my essential nature? What consciousness is? And once we know that, then we have no more sorrow in the life. We don't have to go after lokesana. We don't care how I look like and how popular I am. We don't care how much wealth I have. I have little or more. It's irrelevant. And we don't care, go after other people. It's not necessary. I'm happy by myself in spite of other people around. That must be the way we think. That is what Shankaracharya ji says in this shloka. All right.
So location is the last to go.
I'm sorry.
Location is the last to go.
Yeah. Lakshmi says, my wife is sitting next to me. So Lakshmi says that out of these three, Putresana, Vittesana, and Lokesana. Putresana is running after lust. Vittesana is running after wealth. Lokesana is running after fame. Name and fame. So what she says, and which I didn't tell you, which I'm going to tell you now, is that, believe me, the last to go is Lokesana.
Ego.
We can control our mind about wealth. We can control our mind about opposite gender. We cannot control easily our mind about our popularity or fame. So Lokesana is last to go. It doesn't go. It stays with it. It takes a real hard work for Lokesana to go. That's the way it is. That's the nature of that pursuit. That no matter what time of life we are in, we just want to be popular, well-known, praised by everybody else, and recognition from the people. That's what we like. That's what we want. That is the pursuit we have as a human, and all of us are same. This is not about a person. This is about everybody. Okay, so let's go to the next shloka. All right. Nalini dalagata jalamati taralam tadvajjivitam atishaya chapalam vitti vyadya bhimana grastam lokam shokahatam cha samastam Nalini dalagata jalamati taralam tadvajjivitam atishaya chapalam Vitti vyadya vimana grastam lokam shokahatam cha samasam bhaja govindam govindam bhaja muramate samprate sannihite kale nahi rakshati dukha Karne. Nalini is a lotus flower. On the left side is a leaf, on the right side is a lotus flower at the bottom of the screen. Nalini dalagata jalam ati taralam. So the petal of a lotus flower, when we wake up in the morning because of dew, mist, there is a drop of water or droplet on the petal of a lotus flower. And it is ati, very much. taralam, uncertain existence. So the existence of the drop of the water on the top of the petal of the lotus flower, the existence of that water is very transient, that a little breeze and the droplet fall down into the lake again, into the pond again. So it lives for a very short period of time, just a little breeze and it just falls off. Tatvat, that, so Jivitam lives, exists, life of that droplet, Atishay, very much, Chapalam, unstable. So, the whole sentence, the droplet on the top of the petal of lotus has a very short, unstable life. With thee, understand, Vyadhi Abhiman Grastam Lokam Shoka. Loka is this world. This world is full of what? Vyadhi means disease. Abhiman means pride or ego, arrogance. Shoka, sorrow. Samastam, everywhere. The whole world is full of, consumed by disease, ego, pride, and sorrow. And what does that mean? Our life is like that droplet. And what is the life of a droplet? Very, very transient. That's what the life is all about. We think that 80 years is a long life. No, it's not. Do you know what is the one day of Brahmaji? Brahmaji, there is something like Chatur Yuga. There are 4 yugas, right? So first is Satya Yoga. Then comes Dwapar Yoga. Treta Yoga. Actually, it was supposed to be Dwapar and Treta. That was changed to, no, not Valmiki. Vashishta Muni changed it from Dwapar to Taittiriya and Treta Yoga to Dwapar Yoga. He changed it. That's a long story. So, Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, and Kali Yuga. The Kali Yuga is the shortest, 432,000 years. Kali Yuga is 432,000 years. That's the shortest one. What about Dwapar Yuga? Double, 864,000 years. What about the Treta Yuga? 3 times. How much? 1.2 million years. What about Satya Yuga? 1.7 million years. When you combine 4 yuga, it turns out to be 4.3 million years. Now, 1,000 of these cycles, that adds up to 4.3 billion years, is Brahmaji's one day. One day. So 1 day of Brahmaji is 4.3 billion years. And then Brahmaji goes to sleep. That is another 4.3 billion years. And when Brahmaji goes to sleep, what happens to the world is called pralaya. That means the whole world, the whole universe is destroyed. And then Brahmaji wakes up, he starts all over again. So imagine 1 day of Brahmaji and compare it with our 81 years. Average, this body is designed to last 81 years. But some people live 90 and 100, and some people over 100 too. And some people live less than 81, maybe 70, 60, 50, whatever is our luck. In any case, so it is a very short period of time. That is the message Shankaracharya ji wants to give it to us, that the life is very, very, very short. That's one message. What does that mean? Don't waste time. That's what he says, that the life is very short. Don't waste time. And what do? Only waste time. That's what we do. So what he says, that what do you mean by waste time? Waste time means that don't just live like sansari only, but think of our essential nature, who we are. We have 4 different purusharth in our life. Dharma, all throughout the life, we must follow dharma. Artha, collect the wealth, make money. Kama, desire, help children, grow them, help them growing up, take care of them. And moksha. So we do the first 3 very well. That we follow the rules of sansar, we follow the rules of society, we get up in the morning, get ready, do some things, go to work, make money, get married, have children, take care of children, make them get married, etc., etc. So we do 3 things very well: dharma, artha, kama. We just don't pay attention to the last one, moksha. So Shankaracharya ji says that your life is very short. It is only 80 years or so. And we keep wasting life. And then what happens? We ended up getting a second life. And if we waste that life, then what happens? You get the next life. And if we waste that life, what happens then? We get the next life. Every one of us is born. Every one of us is alive. What does that mean? We wasted life in the previous life. That's what it means. That if we did not waste life in the previous life, and if we got the moksha, then there was no reason to be born in this life. And we are about to finish this life, wasting this life too. So, what he says is that use the life properly. Understand our essential nature, understand who we are. And then if we get the moksha, not only we are blissful for the rest of this life, there is no second life. That means we are eternally happy. That means we are eternally blissful and we become Brahman. This detail will come eventually. But all Shankaracharya ji says is that don't waste your life. That's what he says. So in Buddhism also, Bhagavan Buddha, he also was born in India. He also grew up in India. He also got realization in India. And then people started following, and now more Buddhists in the Southeast Asia than in India. But he made this point very, very clear in his all books also. What did he say? That the life is momentary. In Buddhism, it describes very clearly. Life is kshanik, momentary, and is sorrowful, full of sorrow, full of pain. So the solution is knowledge, meditation, and moksha. So his thinking is, we come from Sunya, we go back to Sunya. But to stop this cycle, we have to have jnana, that is the knowledge, that is jnana yoga, that means understanding who we are, through study and meditation, thinking about Brahman and meditating on Brahman. And then we get to moksha, and then we don't have to take the birth again. Buddhism said exactly the same thing. There is one little hidden point here, and that is, remember, every one of our Ishvara, all our Bhagawans, and we have hundreds of them. What happens? They all are either sitting on the lotus, standing on the lotus, holding the lotus, giving the lotus, but they all are somehow connected to lotus. Why? Why? Nalini, see, Nalini dalagata jalamati taralam. So that lotus flower is born in the mud, in the dirty water. He lives, that flower lives in the dirty water, spends all the life in the dirty water. But that lotus flower is never dirty. It's always clean. And you can pick that flower any time and it's smooth and clean and beautiful. And it dies in the mud also and get again mixed up into the dirty water. So the whole life cycle of the lotus flower is in the dirt, in the impurity, but flower itself is always pure. That's how the Ishwaras are, that they live in this world, but they are always pure. They want us to be like lotus flower, that we live in the dirty world. We live in the sansar, which is full of problems. And we live in that world. There is, you look outside, you look inside, you look next door, you look to the people. Everything is nothing but pollution, nothing but dirty. It's okay. We still can be lotus flower like, that we can be very pure if we choose to be pure. So that is all about lotus flower. We have 9 minutes left. Does anybody have any question? How do we do?
If anybody has any questions, they can unmute themselves and feel free to ask.
Yeah, this is Dinesh. Can you hear me?
Sure,
Yes, we can
go
hear.
ahead.
Yeah, that was very nice explanation. But I want to give an alternate perspective, like, you know, with all due respect to everything that you explained. Um, I mean, it's not really alternate. I'm just giving a different point of view. All this that you explained in the Hindu Dharma, it's very detailed and very complex for a layman. We are all very, wise people, and you are a very wise person, and people listening have very deep minds, and so you are able to understand all this. But you talk to a common man, they don't understand all this. And people of other cultures, one problem is that in Hinduism all this is not preached and spread out to other cultures is the biggest problem. Because and then the other culture people come and see our culture and they say, oh, but you're doing idol worship, and so you're kafir. And that was the biggest problem of all the Mughal invasions in India, and the enmities with the Hindus, uh, because they never understood such a complex culture.
I will take all of your points one after the other. Just watch. I understand.
So I want to finish, like,
Okay, go ahead.
so we don't preach all this to other cultures. We should be preaching more, reaching out, explaining them so they may understand, and tell them that, we are not, kafirs is just a different culture. And, you shouldn't have any enmity towards us. And the other thing is that um, you said one thing, that we won't be born again, but I want to be born again. I mean, I want to achieve moksha, but we may have different lives, that's fine, but I want to be born again. I want to be enthralled. Human life is gotten after a lot of good karmas. That's why we became humans, and I want to keep continuing to be born as a human. I don't want to leave
You
and
already
not
have
be
4
born again.
questions. You already have 4 questions. All
Yeah,
right.
so
Let
that's
me
it.
take all of them at a time. I wish the questions are shorter, but I will take all 4 questions. Number 1, we have not been taught Hinduism when we were young. True. Solution: let us teach Hinduism to our children starting today. 2, we do have Bal Vihar, and our Bal Vihar in New York State have hundreds of children. In summer, we had online Bal Vihar, and we taught the children from the age of 4 onwards.
6,000.
And you know how many children joined? 6,000 in United States of America. We taught Hinduism to 6,000 children the whole summer, 10 weeks for practically no price.
No, but that's all children of our own community. What about other communities exposing to
Let us,
adults?
in the beginning, let us mind our own problems, because
But the problem is that we mind too much our own problems. We don't open ourselves to others, and then the others come and mind our problems, and then
I'm trying
we are
to,
defeated, and we are in ruins.
okay,
But we have
let
to
us,
know.
let us take first whatever
It's
questions. I
Modi first
didn't
time
answer
is
them yet.
Modi first time is reaching out, talking boldly to the rest of the world, and now India has some stand in the international community, and Hinduism has a better exposure. But without that,
Isn't that also just
This,
our egos that are coming into play here? And the whole philosophy that, and I'm sorry to interrupt, Jatin Bhai, but I think what you were trying to explain through this Bhaja Govindam was that we should try and conquer our egos and let go of our egos and the pursuit of fame and name. And when we say that when this whole movement of evangelism, isn't that just our egos saying that we are better and therefore come and look at what we have? I think
no,
the whole purpose of
I'm not saying that we
Hinduism
are better.
is to just um, encourage people to follow us by example, by the way that we live our lives and the way that we pursue our own sense of selves, right?
so the whole answer is this: to convince others how good we are, we have to know what we are. We have to know what our religion is all about. And what we are talking right now is the first kindergarten book. Remember, we have a long, long way to go. We ourselves don't know what is Hinduism. And that's what we are trying to teach, and we are trying to learn, and we are trying to discuss. So we understand what our religion is all about. Then comes a time that other people understand. You will be surprised. There are lots of people who are Caucasian who come to listen to us, and they even come to my building and join our discussion group or study group because they want to learn more. But we can teach others only if we know first. The question is, we don't prepare, we don't learn, we don't read, we are not ready. And I'm telling you, I ask the question often, what is Hinduism? Please explain me. You believe me, 9 out of 10 Hindus cannot tell me what is Hinduism is. Now, that is where we are. So first,
Briefly, we can tell.
we have
There
to
are certain
learn.
details.
So we have to learn ourselves who we are before we teach others what Hinduism is. So that was the second question you had. I even forgot now more questions, but there were multiple questions.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
Well, I think one of the things that he was talking about is also that these are very complex and abstract ideas,
okay,
and that it's not everybody is in a position to understand these complex
I
ideas.
understand. I
no, they are
understand.
not
And
abstract.
let
They are
me
not
answer you that.
abstract.
They're
They
not
are not abstract. They are very deep and
solid.
complex, but I can understand because I know. But a
Okay,
third party who doesn't know and understand, for
okay,
them, they can be abstract.
okay. Now I'm answering your question.
Yeah.
So though there are some people who only understand love. There are some people who can do hard work with their arms. There are some people who are intellectually very bright. So Hinduism knows that very well. And Hinduism knew that thousands of years ago. So we found a three popular way of reaching Brahman. What is that? Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga is just seva. This is what you do when you go to your temple. This is what you do when you have gathering of elderly people, the people who are in trouble, the poor, the disabled, the hospitals. All of that is Karma Yoga. Then the people who have a lot of love. My parents did not go to college, but they were literate. They knew what it was. This was 110 years ago. And they had love. All they did was bhakti. That is another way of reaching the highest. So they practice bhakti yoga. Now, those who are intelligent and intellectually capable of understanding our scriptures, they go through jnana yoga. What I am telling you is jnana yoga, but it will also include some kind of bhakti, and it will also include the karma yoga eventually. This is only the third class of this book. And we will go through, and then you will have a much better concept of what we are talking about.
And Jatin Bhai are not, and correct me if I'm wrong, but all these concepts that you are explaining through Bhajagovindam and Advaita Vedanta and everything, they are all touched upon and taught through our um, the word, I'm having a senior moment here, but things like our Ramayana and
Yeah.
Mahabharata,
Yes,
all these
yes.
concepts are explained through there. And to me, it seems like those mythological stories were designed so that people can have something more concrete way to to
Okay.
believe in or and how to understand these very abstract concepts, right?
So before I talk about that a little bit more, I want everyone to know this, what I'm telling you right now. I forwarded you reveling in Ramayana. We have a 4 days camp, and the camp is on Ramayana. It is on 9, 10, 11th, and 12th of this month. So it is starting the next Friday of this month. If you did not forward, please forward to everybody. I have requested totally maybe 100, 200 people to join the camp. It is wonderful. It is online. It is by a Swami. His name is Prakashananda. He's my guru. I know that he knows Ramayana like he knows every word of Ramayana. And people will be happy to attend that. The cost is very minimal. And it is Friday evening, Saturday morning, Saturday night, Sunday morning, Sunday night, and Monday morning. But it is a long weekend, and a lot of people are off on Columbus Day. Some people are not, but it will be finished by 8 o'clock. In 7 to 8 in Monday morning is the last session. There are lots of other things included in it, which is meditation in the morning, questions which are given on Saturday morning, Sunday morning, and the discussion on the questions on Saturday, Sunday. So it is a full event, and I hope a lot of you will join. And I sent you the, if you want, I can send it again to you.
No, I have it and I will be emailing it out to everybody.
Yeah, so let people know that. And I wish that more and more people join. They will benefit a lot. Then there is one last thing, that for 9 days of Navratri, you might have the programs too about in your temple or on Zoom right now. But we have 10 days program starting 17th of this month, every evening between 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. And we will forward that information to you also. It is Navratri program. It is 1 hour every evening. It is free. And as many people want to join, they can join. It is one way you can watch sometime, and then we all can discuss which is a better way of celebrating Navratri. You do one way, I do another way. But we are celebrating 10 days of 9 days Navratri, and the 10th Dashera day, which is on 26th. So 17 to 26, every night, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., we have Navratri, and please join. I will chant the closing prayer. Then after that, I will be still sitting here, and more questions I will answer as much as you want, okay?
Thank you, Jatin bhai.
But let me have a closing prayer.
Sure.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
Thank you.
Next couple of minutes, I'm going to answer this question to both of which both of you have said something. So we have scriptures which are describing the beginner's understanding of Hinduism. And this book is the beginner's understanding of Hinduism. What is happening in the society and how we take care of it. What is Sanatan Dharma, which is the oldest dharma on earth. Then we have the highest scriptures called Vedas. We do teach Vedas, and we will get there one day. Hopefully we all get or understand the primary books so well that we are ready for Vedas, and we will teach Vedas. So there are few who are interested and few who understand, and they do join the discussion on Upanishads, which is about the Vedas. Then we have history of our nation. What is the history of our nation? It's described very well in our own way in two epics. One is Ramayana and second is Mahabharata. So these two are history of our country. Then that is called Itihas. History means Itihas. And then we have Puranas. Puranas are the scriptures written by Vedavyas in the form of the stories about all the Ishwaras which we actually pray to. And to understand that, and it is very easy to understand because this is described in the form of the stories. Like one of the most easiest thing we do it all the time is Satyanarayan Katha. So Satyanarayan Katha comes from Puranas, and when we do it, it is so simple, everybody understands, and each one of these incidents will teach us a value in our life, that we should know this, we should follow this, these are the advantages, these are the disadvantages. And all of that is described in 18 Puranas. And then we have primary book like Bhajagovindam. So we started from the bottom, and we will keep on building on it if we continue the relationship between you and me. But there are times we don't continue, and if we don't, then that's okay too. We have continued it in America in almost 40 centers all over America. And each one of the center has multiple study groups. So it is amazing. Most people have no idea, but thousands of people are learning now as of today in United States of America. And let them learn. It's perfectly good. If we want to learn, the knowledge is available. If we don't want to learn, that's fine too. We are living our life anyway.
Thank you.
We have right now from Chinmaya Mission, New York, we have about 15 different study groups going on a continuous basis. And I take 4 or 5 of them, but Shubhani ji take another 4 or 5 of them. And there is another George Ramney person. He lives in Manhattan and he takes 4 or 5 of them. So we take about between 12 and 15 study groups on a continuous basis. So some people like, some people don't. Some people join, some people get hooked too. So that's the nature of the spiritual study is. And anybody who wants to join, you're welcome to join.
You know,
Thank
if
you.
for this you need to have your nasib. You know, we say it's in your cards to learn this. Not everybody has a chance to learn, an opportunity to learn. In Yoga Vashishta, when Guru Vashishta is talking and teaching Bhagwan Ram, he tells him that if you are meant to learn, you will learn. And if you're not meant to learn, if your karma in the past are not good enough to be learned, no matter how many opportunities you get, you will not learn. The same thing is in Gita also. Bhagwan Krishna says, whoever is not meant to learn, I give them nidra. So even while the talk is going on, you see people dozing off. And that is, it's not in their luck to know. They haven't had the proper karma to know, so they don't learn it. So it's very much depends on the person and individual person and how much effort they want to put inside.
At the same time, Lord Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita that if you listen to me, if you follow what I am teaching you in Bhagavad Gita, at the end, I guarantee you that every one of you is capable of getting moksha. You just have to follow. So it's not impossible. Okay,
Thank you,
I think
Jatin.
you have your event going on up to 8 p.m. So
Right.
if you still have discussion for whatever temple discussion you want to have, you can continue to have that discussion. If you want me to sit here, I will sit. And if you want to ask question, please go ahead. I don't mind. But if you have another event and another discussion, please.
We have no other event. We only schedule
Okay,
you on
I'm
these
here.
days. So
I'm
if
here.
anybody else has any questions, please feel free to ask. You can unmute yourself and ask the question. So Jatin bhai, let me ask you a question. You
Okay.
mentioned that, you know, the ego and this running after fame is the last thing and the most difficult thing to let go of.
Yeah.
How does one go about letting it go? Or is
Okay.
that a very long?
No. See, the systematic study, what we are doing, all we have to do to continue to do, you will be amazed that after 25 or let's say 10 or 40 or 50 discussion, somebody will come and tell you that you have become a different human being. You know why? Because you have changed. Why? Who told you to change? Automatic. This is coming in this book itself.
The 9th sloka.
It's a 9th sloka in this book. That those who attend satsang, this is what Shankaracharya ji describes as satsang. And he says in the 9th sloka in this book, those who attend satsang, they will continue to attend satsang for all the time in the future. And they will become different people than what they used to live life only short time ago. In other words, there is a purity which comes in us just by listening and participating. And that is a very, very good thing. You yourself will feel it within you that, my God, you know what? I wish I knew this before. I could have been a better person all throughout my life. It is not that you are a bad person, but you are a changed person. There are weaknesses or impurities in us, which will come very soon. It will come. And those impurities become less and less and less just by having satsang, just by question answer, just by understanding what is the right thing in life. That's enough. And we automatically change ourselves. Then this is the answer of your question. Your ego becomes less and less and less. See, ego is also different kind. One ego is more like a pride and arrogance. That means whatever I am, I'm proud of. That I succeeded, I'm smart, I'm intelligent, I did this and I did that. See how good I am? That is one kind of ego. And another kind of ego is running after knowing more and more and more about Atma. And that is a different kind of ego. So the ego for the higher will remain. The ego for the lower will go down. It's like climbing up a ladder. When you climb up a ladder, what happens? You hold the upper bar, and then you hold another upper bar, and then you lift up your leg to go to the lower.
Next.
The legs which were standing on the lower bar, they go one step up, and then you once again hold the upper bar and you put your leg, drag your legs up. This is exactly what happens while we know and understand the spirituality more and more. Our mind, which has impurities, go less and less and less. Our understanding of our essential nature goes up and up and up. This happens naturally. You don't have to do anything. You just have to participate, think, listen, and adapt. It's very easy to do. That's why satsang, Shankaracharya will say very soon to us that this satsang is the ultimate road that we all must take. It is natural. It happens automatically.
Thank you, Jatin Bhai. Anybody else have any questions? Okay. Then we look
we
forward to
will,
seeing you again. I think you're coming back with us on October
we
30th,
will
if I
have the
remember.
class with you on October 30th.
Yes, correct.
Because
Right.
we have a program from 17 to 26, and we have a program from 9 to 12. So this is a busy month because it is a Diwali month.
Yeah.
Diwali is actually
Navratri.
next month,
Next.
but Navratri,
Navratri. Yeah.
we have a camp. So the only next Friday which is available for us is 30th of October, 30.
Okay.
I
So
have
I
a-
just wanted to thank you, Jatin Bhai, and I just want to let everybody know that we have Mata Ki Chauki coming up on October 18th, which is a Sunday, and you'll be getting more information about that. And then on October 16th, we will be having a demonstration of how to make Vrat Ka Khana from various parts of the country. So we are getting videos from our community sevaks and a variety of people, and they will be talking about all the various different ways of making different recipes for the upcoming Vrat. So please do join us for those events. And we have a very special Hanuman Chalisa coming up. Chandraji, आप आप अगर कुछ बोलेंगे तो we have some very special guests coming next Tuesday.
We have two children. They are coming from Michigan, right? They are
Right.
they are coming and they will be chanting the Hanuman Chalisa, and after that, and the other two children will say the two chopais, and then we will explain the meaning of Hanumanji's Hanuman Chalisa. This way, we will know the meaning of Hanuman Chalisa.
Yeah.
What
And these
is
two
that?
children are very young. I believe the
Yeah.
oldest child is just 10 years old, and he has learned the entire Hanuman Chalisa and he can recite. So
Yes.
I am really looking forward to that. I'm very excited.
Jay.
And they're the most adorable little boys. So please
Yes.
look for their photographs in the email as well. I think
Yes.
it's going to be a very special event. So look forward to seeing everybody here.
And in future, if anyone wants their children to come and recite the Hanuman Chalisa, we'd love to have that, because we have every Tuesday. So anyone can participate in this. That would be very, very, very nice. This way they will learn Hanuman Chalisa, because Hanumanji is the real example of all the, like the Dr. Kapadia just mentioned, all the bhakti yoga and everything, the service to the Lord and all those things Hanumanji teaches us from his character. So that's how the children will learn about that.
Right.
Jay.
Okay. So it's 7:51. Chandra ji, अगर आप समाप्त करें तो
वो डॉक्टर
बंद
कपाडिया
नहीं करेंगे लेकिन समाप्त करेंगे जरूर
नहीं डॉक्टर कपाडिया ने तो ऑलरेडी समाप्त किया है. डू यू थिंक? आई थिंक that's beautiful. ये पूर्णमादा उन्होंने कर दिया है, बहुत ही सुंदर है. That's the समाप्ति actually. हाँ जी.
ओके अरुण जी, अगर आपको कुछ लास्ट वर्ड्स बोलने हो या कुछ कहना हो तो फिर बोल दीजिए.
भावना जी, फूड के लिए are we still taking videos or
Yes, so if anybody wants to send videos or would like to participate on the the Vrat Ka Khana program, please contact me. My email is there in the chat box, or you can contact Arun Bhagirath or Abhilash Tiwari. Just send us an email. We'll be sending an email out with who to contact. But we would love to have your video as well.
And Pramila Saxena ji also.
And Pramila Saxena, yeah. So we'll be sending the names and phone numbers, contact information for everybody. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Bhavnandi. Very
Thank
nice.
you, Chandraji. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hari back here
Hari-om.
on the
Hari-om.
30th. And thank you, everybody, for coming.
So it was really nice, Dr. Kapadia. It was beautiful.
Very
Beautifully explained. जी.
Kapadia,
शुभ रात्रि जी.
प्रणाम और बहुत-बहुत धन्यवाद.
धन्यवाद.
शुभ रात्रि and prayer for our president who should come out.
Yes.
Yes, that's a
I was
prayer.
praying for him today.
Yeah, I did that. I wanted to, he should come out.
Right.
All right. Good night, everybody,
you.
and have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you.